Here at 601 Bank Street, Northwest Palm Bay. I was asked to come out and take a look at the roof, and I decided to do a quick video for you. That way you kind of get to hear and everything that I find as I find it. I'm sure you know that you need a new roof, but I'm hoping that you're going to hear a few things that maybe you weren't aware of. Either as far as the condition of the current roof or how we're going to redo your roof correctly. I have 3 reminder arrows to start with. The first one is to talk about how we're going to replace this white flashing called the drip edge with your new roof. And then the second one is basically just about the obvious damage that's up here. It looks like there's been just a multitude of patchwork that's been done. Well, some, but there's so much more that's just been disintegrated and blown off over the last couple years. Thirdly is just, I'm super surprised that we still have a 3-type shingle going on here. So this is definitely an old roof. And the other thing too is just look how brittle the shingles are. Everything's still wet from the rain that we had a little while ago. But what you would see on a drier day is just the lack of granules on the roof. Basically, the granules, in every sense of the word, are a sunblock for your house. So when you lose the granules, all the protective chemicals inside the asphalt shingle starts to leak out, and the shingles become extraordinarily brittle, just like saltine crackers. And that's why they're just fracturing and falling apart like the way that they are. So again, forgive me if you knew that. Getting up on the roof, it's kind of slippery and wet. We're gonna reboot the power mast. We're going to get rid of that antenna thingy over there because it is attached to the drip edge that I noticed. I already looked, that's not even hooked up, but we're going to get rid of that old-timey DirecTV dish. That's what those arrows are about. We're going to get rid of this little ridge vent. We're going to increase the length of that, and it's going to be the new low-profile Omni vent. It's not only going to be longer, but it's also going to have the new architectural shingle caps over top of the ridge vent too, instead of these old-timey versions. More obvious damage here. We're going to replace all the gooseneck style vents. We're going to reboot all the bathroom vents. It was actually more slippery a couple minutes ago. But when I was walking around the house taking pictures, and look at the pictures that I'm included in this email, and you're going to see right down there where this waterfall comes down, the wood is completely disintegrated, and it looks like it's pouring into the soffit. So probably a good time to let you know that you get 100 square feet, which is like the size of the garage door, of plywood replacement with your new roof from Florida Native. So that's going to be more than enough to cover that area and some of the other areas that will be a surprise when we get to it, so to speak. We're going to replace this, of course. Nice expansive view of the back here. You can see all the patchwork that's been done and all the lifted up crease shingles that are still here. I thought this was interesting. So one of the really important reasons that you have to consider picking the right roofing company is it's not just price, but it's obviously quality and making sure that this is done correctly. This is a very atypical. It's a nice feature for the house, but you got to make sure this is done right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have all these converging valleys and all this nice work here. You just got to make sure it's done correctly. I'll show you a peek around the corner here. And we got this here as well too. So real quick, last 20 seconds. Allow me to talk about how we are going to do your roof correctly for you. Forgive my obvious metal example here. It's really not the top layer that's so important, it's all the layers underneath. So imagine this with me. We're going to get rid of, we're going to remove all this, get down to the bare plywood roof. We're going to inspect every inch of this plywood roof. Anything remotely bad, like down here in the valley, you can see it even better right there. Once we get down to the bare plywood, we're going to replace any of the bad plywood that we find. 2 building codes that your roof will be updated to. The first one says re-nail the roof to code. So we're going to re-nail the plywood to the roof trusses. The code says every 6 inches. We go every 4 to 5 inches. We're going to double, triple the number of nails holding your plywood to your roof trusses. And then the really important one is called peel and stick. So we're going to cover every inch of this bare plywood roof with rubberized waterproof material. You probably heard of the term peel and stick. That way in the event, well, it's not a question of if, it's only a matter of when we do get a hurricane, and if you do get damage on your roof, or let's just say your pool enclosure ends up back on top of your brand new shingle roof, at least with the waterproof barrier, you're not going to allow water inside the house. That's really the important part about that. And then we're going to put as a company, we only use 99.9% of the time Certainty Landmark Series shingles. It's the heaviest, thickest, best shingle out there, best warranty. It's the same price as the other companies. It's just a better shingle. It's the one that we do 99% of the time, unless somebody sees a special color in a magazine and they request it. But this is our go-to for very obvious reasons. Okay, so that's how we're going to do your roof. Thanks.